High in the Bradshaw Mountains, I found a town with one general store, a volunteer fire department, and the oldest standing saloon in Arizona. And gold and silver prospector Dan Starkey takes me deep inside a dangerous gold mine. When he told me, don't touch the walls, I found out why, somewhere in Arizona. Hi! Welcome to Somewhere in Arizona, a quirky show that follows me around as I discover interesting people and adventurous places somewhere in Arizona. The thing you have to understand is, I'm not from around here, but by the time we're done, I should know just as much as the locals. Today I'm off to discover Crown King, Arizona, a town right out of the 1800s.
It's a little different than the city. You do have rattlesnakes. You have a lot of mine shafts from the mining days. You can fall in those mine shafts. About 3 weeks ago, our fire department did a rescue on someone that got stuck down in a mine shaft, and they had to do a confined space rescue.
It's dangerous out here too. There's several types of rattlesnakes. Some have neurotoxins. So it's dangerous. There's big predators. There's mountain lions and bears.
Would you say most people that live out here, because of all the animals and stuff, that they have firearms? Is that typical?
Well, just as Arizonans alone, we like having our firearms. It's the rights that are given to us by the Constitution. So most of us here do carry firearms, but we tend to use them responsibly.
Another danger of these adits and old gold mines are the gases that can be in these. A lot of people don't understand that. They walk in these mines. They're dangerous enough with shafts in the dark and rock falling hazards, but there's also gases in here. Groups of people have been known to be found dead on the mouth of an adit before, where a pocket of gas comes out and gets everybody right out the outside edge. So they're real dangerous.
In the wintertime, we get snow and it gets cold. It gets freezing up here. If you get stuck out at night too far out, you can freeze to death. These are all things you might not have to deal with in the city all the time, but up here, it's a way of life.
Last winter we had a lot of snow. We actually had more snow than usual. It can be a little bit dicey getting up the road right at the top here in the higher elevation.
Crown King is at the end of 30 miles of rough road, about 90 minutes northwest of Phoenix. It's been around since the late 1800s. At one point, more than 3,000 people lived here, but the price of gold and silver wasn't high enough to keep the mines open. Almost everyone left, but Crown King survived. Well, if you're going to have a town, you need a general store.
Well, my husband and I bought the store about 6 years ago, one of the oldest general stores in Arizona. It was built in 1904, and we pretty much serve everything here. We have hardware department, post office, gas pump, and we also make homemade fudge. We're famous for our fudge. We make about 50 varieties. And we're just getting ready to go in our fall season, and we make pumpkin pie and apple pie fudge.
I had the fudge. Scrumptious. So write this down. www.crownkingaz.com, and they ship worldwide. The newest enterprise in Crown King is the Prospector Mall.
We run the Prospector Mall, which we built about 1.5 years ago. We actually rebuilt a building that stood here from 1904. Everyone's kind of working to keep our old history alive up here.
What brought you out here to Crown King?
Basically stress relief, you might say. We ran restaurants for over 15 years in Scottsdale. We just kind of needed to step back, and so that's what we've done up here, started a new life, and it's more rural, it's more small community.
If you're going to have a mall, you need shoppers, right?
You need the support of the locals to survive, because in the wintertime when things slow down, they're the ones that'll keep you going. But the four-wheelers and the motorcycle riders and all the folks that come up here, the hunters, they're the people that have really kept Crown King going all these years. And of course, we try to provide the things they need and what they want so they can have a good time.
There's actually a lot of tourism, a lot of people that like to come up for quad riding, mining, just a lot of people like to just get out of the heat. It's generally pretty quiet. A lot of the locals do still support the community and come down for food and whatnot.
What is approximately the population of Crown King, Arizona?
Around 100 that live here year-round, but there's actually about 400 to 500 cabins. There's a one-room schoolhouse, and I think there's about 6 kids this year. Children only go to school Monday through Friday. It's K through 8, so it's one of the only one-room schoolhouses that are left in the in the state.
So, Crown King has a general store with a gas pump, a mall with shoppers, the all-important saloon, and critical to a town that's hard to get to, a volunteer fire department. In a town like Crown King, fire prevention is everybody's business.
We're having the fire department dinner dance and auction. The fire department, it's a volunteer fire department, and so the money goes directly to them and they auction off. They have a kids auction and an adult auction.
Put it in. How much? $5 with $2. $2 with $2 with a $2. $2 with $2. $3. $3 with $3.
Right now what they're doing is they're starting off the children's auction, and they actually auction items and stuff for the kids and people. They bid on those things, and that raises money. All of this is to benefit our fire department and our rescue. And then when the auctions are done, they go into the chicken dinner and they have a dance afterward with a live band. And it's just small community fun, but it really does help our fire department, to provide the services we need up here, because we depend on this fire department for many things.
In 2008, 2 big wildfires threatened the town of Crown King and destroyed nearly 10,000 acres.
There was 2 fires going on at the same time, the Lane 1 and the Lane 2. We had folks on the Lane 1 fire that was contained. The Lane 2 fire, when that started blowing up, we were in charge of the evacuation of the town of Crown King, so we got that going, and then we assisted on the actual firefight.
If anything would get the Crown King community involved, it would be a benefit for the volunteer fire department. And if the town had a popularity contest, Chief Steve Lombardo would win it.
Absolutely. This is our annual dinner dance. We've been doing it since the early 90s, and basically what it does is it helps us bring in some money so that we can actually operate. A lot of the equipment that you see, like this truck over here, is actually the money that came from here matched a grant that we got so that we could actually purchase it. We wouldn't be able to do that. A lot of the times the money goes towards purchasing personal protective equipment and that kind of stuff so that we can actually protect our firefighters and have the gear to actually fight a fire.
And whenever these firefighters go out, what are some of the hazards and dangers that they face every day?
Obviously the roads, traveling these roads is always a hazard, but we're in pretty steep, rough, rocky country, so if we're going out on a wildland fire, we always got to be extra careful about hiking in these kind of environments. Just a couple weeks ago we did a mine rescue.
Oh, really?
Right.
So you had, miners were trapped in a...
With some folks that were going down exploring a mine, and they got in some trouble.
When you're dealing with emergencies and fires in a remote place like Crown King, every second counts. Modern technology is coming to the rescue.
Pike County Sheriff's Office has a new tool that you can sign up on the internet, and what it'll do is you can not only get a phone call on your regular phone at home, but you can sign up to have it ring your cell phone. If you want email, it'll send you an email. So several different ways of getting a hold of somebody and letting them know that there actually is an evacuation going on.
You can find a link for the Yavapai County Emergency Notification System by visiting www.crownkingfire.org. I asked Chief Lombardo for his best fire prevention tip.
Probably the number one thing is if you go camping, make sure you put your campfire out. Every year we have to put out campfires that make a threat to the town of Crown King. So that would probably be the biggest thing, is watch your fire and put it out when you're done.
When we come back, I'm taking you on a dangerous adventure looking for gold with with a couple of guys who still believe there's lots of gold to be found in the Crown King Hills.
We're the kids of Crown King and we're so